Welcome back for my review of Old Friends Not Forgotten, Episode 9 of the Clone Wars Season 7. And wow, was that opening scene fist-pumping fun or what? It's been far too long since we've seen Anakin and ObiWan on the battlefield together, and even though at this point in the timeline the Jedi are so close to their tragic end, and Anakin is so close to falling to the dark side, it was just pure pleasure to see those two generals on the battlefield again together. And even though that opening scene was amazing, the next one's even better, where we have the reunion of Anakin and Ahsoka. I absolutely loved the long, awkward pause of Anakin. He was just absolutely speechless, which was perfect. It was also great to see in this scene Obi-Wan in his robes, because we are so close to the Revenge of the Sith. The animation is absolutely amazing, and certainly Ahsoka looks fantastic in her new battle gear as well. Of course, Ahsoka mentions that she and Bo-Katan want to take down Maul, but I thought it was interesting that she called him the Renegade Sith Lord Maul. It's certainly quite the title. And then to my surprise, we actually see Ahsoka and Bo-Katan joining the Republic fleet right away, and we have that in-person reunion between Ahsoka, Anakin, and Kenobi. And at the beginning of this reunion in person, it was amazing to see that Ahsoka brushes off Anakin. She is all business. It's like she has her guard up and she doesn't want to be drawn back into the Jedi, and that this is all very difficult for her. I just thought it was some awesome writing from Filoni and his team. Of course, Anakin is visibly hurt by this, but with this fast-paced episode, there's very little time to dwell on that, and it's revealed that Bo-Katan needs Republic forces to capture Maul because she doesn't have the numbers needed to do it herself. Obi-Wan wants to advise the Jedi Council, but Bo-Katan is adamant that there is not enough time. She even mentions Duchess Satine to try and draw Obi-Wan into action. And at this point, Obi-Wan has this great line where he says, "I cannot allow my feelings to cloud my judgment." I just love how this reinforces the fact that he is such a good role model for Anakin, and it's so sad that he didn't have a closer relationship and an in-depth discussion around love and attachment with Anakin. But of course, Palpatine's Clone Wars made sure they didn't have time for that. But moving on here, we have the most emotional part of the story, as we have Anakin escorting Ahsoka to her reunion with the clones. During this, we have several of the clones in the hallway saluting Ahsoka. Then, of course, we enter the hangar with all of the clones that have the painted helmets in honor of Ahsoka. But to top this emotional moment off, Ahsoka tells Rex that he doesn't need to call her commander anymore, and he replies saying, "Sure thing, Commander." At this point, if you're not feeling emotional, then you must be a droid. But this emotional moment is broken by the blaring emergency alarms, and before Anakin and Ahsoka can truly reconnect, Obi-Wan tells us that Coruscant is under attack. And I love how Ahsoka goes full offensive here. She attacks the two Jedi on their unwillingness to help Bo-Katan, letting them know that she believes the Jedi have no place in the politics of the Republic, and they should be hunting down Maul, the former Sith Lord. This was really interesting to me because the downfall of the Jedi in the Clone Wars is that they are too focused on the Clone Wars itself and the politics behind it, and therefore cannot see the Dark Lord of the Sith, Sidious, right under their noses. So in a very roundabout way, it's very insightful from Ahsoka, and is just another example of the wisdom of this young girl. But Anakin clearly wants to win back Ahsoka in any way he can, and decides he should promote Rex to commander and allow him and Ahsoka to go to Mandalore. And at this point, I just want to say that it's easy to overlook that this is an overdue promotion for Rex. It's an awesome moment that can get lost in this episode of awesomeness. Next, we get another emotional scene where Anakin hands over the new blue lightsabers to Ahsoka. It's truly an awesome moment, and just like that, they're off on their separate missions, and Anakin and Ahsoka say their goodbyes. And it's at this point, I just want to acknowledge how deep in the timeline we are going into Revenge of the Sith. At this point, we're about an hour away from the events of the beginning of that movie. But that all said, the breakneck speed of this episode continues as we're moving on to the attack of Mandalore Mandalore, and it's cool to see Gar Saxon, a Rebels character, leading the defense of Mandalore, and it was also great to see Ursa Wren as well. But what trumps everything in this episode is the attack on Mandalore and Ahsoka's descent to the city. Now that was an absolutely amazing entrance, and I must say it's a bit disappointing that we've seen so much of this initial attack on Mandalore in the trailers, but just seeing it all together was absolutely amazing and emotional to say the least. But moving on here, the Mandalorian forces are quickly overwhelmed and Ahsoka and Rex's forces are victorious. And with a little bit of luck, it seems like they're on the trail of Maul. But of course, Ahsoka and the troops are lured into a trap by Maul. And as we always know, Maul actually wanted Kenobi to come fight him. And boom, that's it. It's over until next week. What a cliffhanger. What an emotional, fast-paced episode. And I really can't believe how far into the timeline we are already. But hey, Star Wars fans, let me know what you think in the comments below. I thought this was an absolutely amazing episode. As always, I'm Mike. Thanks for watching, and may the Force be with you.